Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of the TimmyB tournament. This week, we have a very special event, squid racing. People have been asking for this for a very long time, and finally, their hopes are being realized. Imagine. What do you think about this? You've seen the rules, you've seen the map. How do you think this is going to go?
Well, it is the first time that we're actually, as far as I know, the first time that we're actually casting any squid racing. Squid racing is something that a lot of people have clamored for, but have never really been able to put together. So it should be rather interesting how it goes. Now, technically, you can't kill the other ships.
Technically,
right?
no. And only 3 weapons are being allowed: mine launchers, flare guns, and harpoons. The last of those 3 is going to be my favorite, I think.
Absolutely. Harpoons should make it quite interesting. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't harpoon your own teammates still, right?
Correct, I believe.
So if you hit your teammate with a harpoon, I don't think it actually hits them.
Correct, but mines will work.
But mines will work. Yeah.
Really careful with them.
Now, I think that this is going to be extremely chaotic. I don't know if the teams are going to be focused more on trying to get everybody through the course, or if they're going to be more focused on trying to mess with each other. I'm not really sure how well mines will work with that, quite honestly. It's going to be sort of a hodgepodge, sort of a mess, I think.
I imagine the teams are going to be more struggling to get ahead of one another than slow each other down, because, I mean, you have 5 other opponents in the squid race. And so what you're really going to be doing is just trying to get ahead of the pack and stay away from all of this, because there's no drafting mechanic in the game. Like, if you're ahead of the guy, if you can pilot right, then you can just stay ahead. So I imagine that teams are more just going to be going for speed than they are for actually trying to slow the other ships down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of permanent moonshine burning. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of bumping into each other. And so now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that I saw the setup for Canyon Ambush is there's kind of just like a boundary, and so you have to be just somewhere between there. There's no set path.
There's no. Well, there is kind of a set path. You just have a boundary out. You have to stay within.
Right. And I mean, I was looking at this why would everybody even go into the red spawn area?
Okay. Good.
One of the reasons you want to do it is, I think, is just if you end up, getting knocked away by a mine, maybe it would be faster to just go all the way around. I could see that happening. It's more of a contingency. It's if you get knocked over in this direction, you're not disqualified, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll want to take that route.
We can initiate the chat vote, so the listeners and viewers can actually vote on what team they'd like to see win, which team they think is they can side with.
Well,
what's important is that each of these teams, the teams don't matter. Each ship is just out for itself.
Okay.
So that's the way that it's going to be this week.
Okay, then we'll leave the chat votes out of this.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's go over who the teams are. So race 1, we've got Flumwaffle, Super Hyper Mega Ultimate Robo Girl. And I think Tea Time, we said, actually, unfortunately, had to drop out, so no Tea Time.
We do have Crown Magician, though.
Crown Magician has joined, yes. And then on the red side, we have Life After Love, Hydra, and the Brotherhood. Now, I don't know which one of these teams is which one, because there's 2 Brotherhood ships in there, so I don't know which one of those is technically their Brotherhood ship. Now, it's interesting to me that the Shenanigans?
Let me see.
Is that how you actually spell shenanigans?
No.
Because it's
It's bothering me too. Just leave it.
I'm going to guess that's supposed to say shenanigans. Both the Shenanigans and the Hoofhearted have a gunner on them, and I expected to see just a whole lot of engineers.
It's off by one vowel.
I'm not entirely certain why you take a gunner on this. I mean, what they really want to do, what you really want to do is just keep the engines going. Like,
Yeah.
that is the most important part to this. And I mean, these teams are going to be almost perpetually burning moonshine. I imagine Crown Magician, what's he got? Moonshine. He's probably going to have, like, yeah, there's a pipe wrench there instead of a spanner. They're going to use the pipe wrench to keep up with the repairs while not going over.
Trivy doesn't even have moonshine. He has kerosene, but not, he has kerosene, impact bumpers, and tar barrel. He doesn't even have moonshine.
Who doesn't?
Trivy? The shenanigan captain?
I think maybe he just doesn't want his engines to get damaged at all. He just wants that constant push forward. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think moonshine will be more efficient because even if the engines get damaged, you'll have that burst of speed forward that will keep your momentum going. So essentially, you're just, every time you get repaired, you just leap forward. That being said, it's going to be more difficult to handle because the repairs are not going to be even usually.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to have people, especially the person in the top and center, because what they're probably going to do is each team is going to have one person on each outside engine, and then another person, a third person on the middle, who's repairing the two center engines. And
yeah, that's what I would figure.
They can't repair both of them at the exact same time, which means that the ship is going to be uneven for a short amount. Well, it's constantly going to be uneven. And moonshine is going to exacerbate that problem. So maybe by taking kerosene, they're hoping to smooth that out. So it'll be easier to go straight forward, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see which one of these tactics end up working the better. I just figured it was going to be a whole lot of moonshine burning and a whole lot of engine repairing.
I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, I think that the captains should be able to handle moonshine if they can get, the weaving back and forth going right. This is one of the times where an analog wheel would be better than a digital wheel.
Fair enough. All right, so we're hanging out here. We're gonna see if the Rachel ends up getting a third person.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how badly the difference between moonshine and kerosene is going to show itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really curious.
Now, so let me take a look exactly here. So, kerosene increases thrust by 150%.
Mm-hmm.
Does 10 damage per second to all engines.
Indeed.
Oh, QFoxP is actually only taking that too. Moonshine is 200% thrust with 30 damage to all engines. So it's 3 times the damage, but only double the thrust.
Now, something important to note, though, is that moonshine is a plus 1,000%. So it's it reduces angular drag. That means that it's going to be even with the engines damaged. I think that means that it's still going to be able to fly straight. That's actually going to sort of counteract the engines being damaged.
Yeah, I mean that's why you use moonshine for ramming purposes, is because it gives you basically a straight shot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious as to which one is going to turn out better, though. My theory is moonshine, but I can't be certain. I think it could go either way, potentially. Kerosene is going to keep the engines up higher, which means that it's going to be easier to turn. That being said,
maybe use kerosene when you're going around corners, and then on straightaways you burn moonshine. So maybe both of them.
Maybe. I think most captains are just taking Phoenix Claw, tar, and then either kerosene or moonshine. That's pretty much what's happening, I think.
Yep.
Moonshine, tar, Phoenix Claw. Phoenix Claw is really going to help for those tight corners. However, James T. Kirk is taking hydrogen instead of tar. I think I think I get where he's going with that. I think he wants to try and rise above enemy tar when it comes out, because if you tar someone, even for a moment while they're burning moonshine, that's going to hurt them a lot.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's a decent counteracting, right? Like you don't the damage that'll get done to your balloon is minuscule compared to how much tar can actually hurt you, because that'll damage your engines, really just wreak havoc all over the place. Although if you're going fast enough, maybe tar isn't the thing to worry about. The thing is, like, this is such untested ground that we just have actually no idea how any of this is going to go. I mean, we can speculate till world's end, but honestly, I mean, have you ever seen a squid race?
Nope.
So we're this is all complete speculation. As I said before, this is pretty much the first time in a squid race like this has actually been streamed at all. So, we'll have to see what happens, because I have actually no idea.
Now, I have a couple of predictions. I think that the 2 choke points on the map are going to be really important. There are 2 choke points off to the east. One choke point is actually at the very beginning of the map, so it's kind of first turn in an IndyCar race, that kind of thing. So you have that, and then you have a second choke point up farther north, and then you have the canyons to go through. And most people are just going to take the fastest route unless they get pushed out. I doubt that's going to happen a whole lot, but you're just going to end up people hugging the inside, and then you have this straightaway. And something important to note is there aren't there are a couple of straightaways, but a good portion of this map is curved. Like the whole second half of it is curved. And the first part, you have one straightaway. Right after the first choke, you have then you have another turn, and then you have another straightaway after the second choke, and then all the way back to the start line is curved. That means that moonshine, you can't. Means that teams that are taking moonshine, or ships that are taking moonshine, can't keep burning it, while teams that have kerosene can. So I imagine that the teams with the moonshine are going to do really well at the very beginning of the race. They're going to shoot ahead of these short straightaways. But then the teams with the kerosene are going to have a chance to catch up at the end of that lap. And how many laps is it again?
I believe it's 3 laps.
3? I thought so. Just making sure. There we go. 3 laps. Circle will be displayed below, and it will be 3 laps. So yep. I think there's potential for both to work. And actually, looking at the map again, I think that kerosene might do better.
Yeah, it's possible.
In my professional opinion,
I definitely see the advantage to both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like moonshine is going to have to be turned on and off over and over again. It's going to be kind of jerky with going around this really long, sort of steep corner. Or no, it's a shallow corner, but I think it's enough to throw moonshine off, because I mean the turning rate is decreased by it's 1/10 what it usually would be.
Yep. Well, I mean, at this point, we're just waiting for the teams to ready and up. We do have everyone in here.
Yes, we do.
I wonder if that's a tea time replacement team.
Probably. Let's see. I want to see, like, here on the shenanigans, TimmyB is going to be taking impact bumpers, oddly enough, with Antar Barrel and Kerosene. So no Phoenix Claw. I think that's an okay decision. I'm not sure Phoenix Claw is really necessary ever on a squid. That's my opinion. But
yeah, I mean,
generally, the squid fast enough.
Yeah, I agree. But at this point, like, why not take it?
Yeah, I'm not sure why impact bumpers.
Just because I think everybody's figuring that everybody's going to be slamming into each other.
At the very beginning, yes. But I think the impact bumpers are only going to really matter at the very beginning, around that first corner. So TimmyB looking to take an early advantage, maybe, with those impact bumpers. So watch for the shenanigans going out early. We have the Hoof-Hearted, and we have Anton Moon is going to be taking Phoenix Claw, Tar, and Moonshine. So he's got Moonshine instead of Kerosene. Let's see. He's going for a pretty what I would imagine is going to be pretty standard. Q Fox P. So Fox is going for Phoenix Claw, Tar, and Kerosene. So that's going to be on the Giancarlo Fischella. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Meh.
Giancarlo Fischella.
Thank you, sir.
Something.
Aboard the Shmurg Kusanagi, piloted by Archreal, we have Phoenix Claw, Moonshine. So it's going to be Moonshine and Kerosene. So we talked about this just a moment ago. Archreal. Or I think it's Archreal. Going to be taking both Moonshine and Kerosene depending on the situation. I like it. I like it a lot.
No tar and no hydrogen or anything of that sort, though. So he's going to have to watch out for those giant tar clouds that are going to be all over the place.
Yeah, he's going for efficiency. He wants to be really efficient with this. He wants to just be burning as much as possible. Poor Dilo, Rez, Ankan, and Lydia. They're going to have their work cut out for them. Or the Rachel, Crown Magician, taking Moonshine and Tar, Phoenix Claw. And then James T. Kirk, foregoing the Tar for hydrogen. Mentioned that earlier. He's going to want to try to keep out of the way. And now, one of the nice things about taking hydrogen in this is you can just go ahead and get out of Tar really quickly and not affect your forward momentum at all. I think that's going to be that's a really important aspect to taking hydrogen.
Absolutely. I also think that means he's going to be trying to be as low to the ground as possible, just so he can get that max, I guess, efficiency out of the hydrogen.
That's dangerous, though. It could get Goomba stomped.
This is true. Now, you're not allowed to kill anybody with guns, right? But you can slam into somebody.
You can slam
and if they happen to die,
kill it. Like killing someone is discouraged. They're like you're not supposed to,
right?
And if you do, I think Tar's. Let's see. No one is allowed to kill opposing ships, but they may be disabled or hurt. I think if someone purposefully goes out and kills a ship, then that's a disqualification.
It's not a disqualification. I think you need to go back to the starting line and then wait until the respawning ship gets there, and then you can go as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, if a ship does die, they must. Okay, they was vague. Okay, so the ship that got the kill is returned to the starting line and can leave just before the ship that killed them arrives. Okay.
Yep.
Very good to know. Now, you do have the teams, and ramming damage does not affect members of your team, and you also cannot harpoon members of your team, and that's gonna be a little extra layer of complexity here. We're getting underway. Everyone's gonna spawn in. We're gonna get people onto the starting line as soon as possible.
Yep, and I assume we're gonna have some sort of countdown.
I imagine.
No, I imagine. Ha ha. I had to do it. It had to be done.
All right, we're gonna get our squids into position here in Canyon Ambush. Canyon Ambush is going to be the map. This is the one map we got. It's going to be 3 laps. So, all right, here we go. Squids all spawning over here. Going to get over to the starting line. Yeah, do not pre-buff. No pre-buffs are allowed. Now, buffing is allowed. Buffing is totally allowed, just you can't pre-buff.
Let's get a quick rundown of ships regardless.
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure it's going to be a huge deal, though. Like, I imagine, Harpoon's only going to have very limited usage. Most of the time, people are going to be back at the engines repairing.
Sure.
The guns are just there as a formality.
Yeah, but it's just to introduce the players, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce the players. So aboard, we can trade off. We have the Shenanigans being piloted by who is that? Trivy. Aboard it, we have Sir Nubs, Mr. Wit, and Frank M.
And the Hoof-Hearted, we've got, this is Antoine Moon. He's also got Catastrophe, Snipester, and he's actually got as we talked about, he's got a gunner in Partholon.
Yeah, interestingly enough. They might be taking a more aggressive approach We have the Giancarlo Fisichella, I think. Fisichella. That's how it's pronounced. Sunderland is helping me out in there. It is being piloted by Fox. For crew, he has Orangey, he has Hiroshi, and he has C. Darwin.
All right, on the dolly is a robot. We've got the ridership with Artriel captaining.
I think it's Artriel.
We've also got Lydia Litviak, Dolores, and Ancan.
Aboard the Rachel. Being piloted by Crown Magician, we have Schwerbelastung. We have, who's that? Poughkeepsie names. And we have Brightness.
And lastly, we've got the VSS Double Digits that is captained by James T. Kirk. It's got Maddie Lee, Admiral Obvious, and Mickey Need. Okay, Mickey Need.
Yep, that's
as his crew members. So there you go. Those are today's contestants. As we're getting these guys set up, and I'm not gonna lie, this is the most squids I've ever seen in one place.
Oh, this is amazing! I'm so excited. This is so great. Heavy drums, says Orangey. The Giancarlo moving in, and I think we're just about ready to start. Just line up as best you can, says Fox.
Yep,
so we're going to try to get them all about the same line. We can see a lot of ramming early on. Now, keep in mind, they're going to go around this big fat rock here, and then they're going to have to go through this narrow little canyon. Let's see. I'm looking for it. I got lost. I got turned around. Yeah, they're going to have to... Let's see. Are they starting? I don't think they actually... Yeah, they do have to go around the big rock. And then they need to work their way into the canyon off to the right. So There's going to be a lot of bumps coming in here. And what I'm looking for are bumps that get rid of momentum. Those are going to be the big ones. If someone just kind of gets knocked off to the side, they can generally recover. But if they lose their momentum in a ram, that could be huge.
No, I totally agree. It's if you end up hitting a rock or like a canyon wall or anything of that sort, that could also just definitely ruin your day. Especially if you just end up dying. That's definitely all right. Here we go. Here's the countdown. 3,
3J, 2,
1. Go.
And the race has begun. Double digits going out in front of everyone else, burning moonshine already. Harpoon being fired onto the double digits. Shenanigans lands, and it's going to get pulled forward and faster, pulling the double digits back as well. That little shoot forward did not help them at all. In the meantime, dollies are
Giancarlo actually bumps into that rock that we're talking about, so that's definitely a bad way to start that off.
Yeah. Mines already beginning to land in the battlefield. I can imagine that there are going to be a lot of mines left over on the second lap. That's going to be huge, especially moving through these clouds.
Yep.
Mine lands.
Hoof-hearted, mine landing. They're all sorts of the wrong way. DSS double digits gets mined. Oh, Shenanigans is actually going to come around the side here. Past Dolly is a robot up. Just cut right inside him.
Here they go. We're coming around the second major turn in this. Shenanigans coming forward. Giancarlo lands a harpoon.
Nice harpoon.
A robot. Yep, they're being pulled forward, but it's messing with their turning a little bit. As soon as that harpoon goes down, they're fine. Now, there are the flares. Going to make it easier to dodge around. Giancarlo hits a mine. Shenanigans right now pulling very far ahead. They're going to go through this third this
valley of death. This is going to be one of the
pinch point.
Yeah, this is going to be
fine.
Tight squeeze here. Dolly's a robot, or still right on his tail. Oh, they actually get him harpoon, get the Shenanigans harpoon, and they're going to get pulled right past him. But the problem is that they're not going to be able to make that turn as well as the Shenanigans now.
Now, important to note, a lot of these teams are not making the tight turn and taking the shortest route. Instead, they're opting to keep their momentum. You see, they're going around a little bit farther. And I like the decision. It's letting them keep their momentum. Now they're coming around.
Yep, shenanigans.
It's interesting that they're not taking the shortest route all the time. Sometimes they just want to try and avoid where everyone else is going.
Oh,
Ooh,
Dolly's
mine.
gets mine there, loses all sorts of momentum, and shenanigans takes a huge lead coming around the side here.
We're going into the stretch for this first lap. Shenanigans right now way out ahead.
Yeah, shenanigans has just absolutely burned themselves straight into first place. I mean, it is going to be extremely hard for them to catch up here. Let's see, Dolly's a robot and double digits hanging out right behind each other. Giancarlo coming up behind them, and the Rachel and Hoofhearted are far, far, far back.
They're having a little bit of trouble. Yeah, Rachel unfortunately hit a wall. Gonna have to come back out. And they're trying to reset themselves, it looks like. So going into this first lap, we have Shenanigans getting ready. Yeah, they're about to cross the finish line here. The first lap going to be finished. Dolly is a robot in double digits. Neck and neck right now with the Giancarlo coming up behind. Throws out a harpoon, misses the Dolly, but they're still going to be able to go around and under. Looks like they're going to be able to pull ahead. Double digits in the meantime, pulling ahead with those buffed moonshine engines. That Squid is booking it, but I don't know if it has a chance to catch up to the Shenanigans.
Yeah, at this point, it might just be a race for second place as Giancarlo, Dolly's a robot, and double digits are vying for the same space. Now, it looks like Giancarlo is actually going to be able to move underneath both these blue ships. They might just be able to take second place right here. And yeah, the VS's double digits actually just went way too far out as Giancarlo went right underneath that rock. Takes over second place here, and both red ships are currently sitting in 1-2 spots. Shenanigans way, way ahead of everybody. They are kind of open and free here, although they did lose a lot of speed and momentum taking that turn. And now Dolly is a robot and double digits lagging behind both these ships. Looks like they're going to try to take this side in here. Oh, a little bit of a risky maneuver there. Oh, Giancarlo gets a mine there. Dolly's a robot is going to move back into second place, and they're actually closing the distance from the Shenanigans, who have to actually move around because there's a mine straight in the middle of this valley here. And Dolly's a robot is coming in strong.
Ooh, mine going to go into the hole. No, that just went into the mountain. Dolly is a robot, able to come around. Shenanigans and Dolly both going in the same direction. There is a mine in the way.
Dolly's a robot just actually took the lead. I thought for sure Shenanigans had this in the bag, but Dolly's a robot just screamed right ahead of them. Giancarlo is right on their tail, and I cannot believe that Shenanigans just lost that big of a lead.
In the meantime, 5th and 6th place, Hoofhearted, able to take a very long lead against the Rachel. The Rachel still struggling to finish the first lap. It lost its engines over and over again. The Hoofhearted and the Rachel were just clawing over one another, but this means that the Shenanigans, Dolly is a robot, and Giancarlo are way out ahead. Double digits, very much alone in the middle right there.
A huge explosion there on Giancarlo, but thankfully it doesn't stop their momentum. Double digits looks like he had a little bit of an issue getting that corner turned around.
Uh-oh. Fox saying, gent ship, sorry, that's not a lap. They went up too high. They went too tight in. Apparently, we're not quite well acquainted enough with the map. Now, look at this. Shenanigans gets whacked away, and Dolly is a robot has taken a long lead. Giancarlo able to pull just a little bit ahead of the Shenanigans.
Yep, Dolly's a robot now is firmly in the lead here, but of course, considering how far Shenanigans was ahead, I can't say that they've got this one, because I thought once again for sure that the Shenanigans had that one in the bag. So we'll see how this last lap turns out. Oh, Shenanigans runs into a mine there. And so Dolly's a robot starting the last lap off here, leading. We've got Giancarlo in second place, Shenanigans in third. Double digits has actually made up a lot of time, but remember, I think they're the team that doesn't, or is it which gen ship? Is it Shenanigans that didn't count?
Oh, the Rachel.
Or was it the Rachel?
It was the Rachel.
So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, the Rachel is far, far behind, so probably not going to impact this race as it is. Oh, Shenanigans takes another huge mine hit, and Dolly's a robot has just pulled far, far ahead again. Looks like at this point, Giancarlo is the only one that has a chance of catching him. Double digits in the meantime, pulls ahead of the Shenanigans, and the Shenanigans, after leading for such a long time has just absolutely faltered here. Now all the way back in 4th place.
They burnt their engines out more than once. They weren't quite paying attention, and that is going to hurt the Shenanigans quite a bit.
Yep, now Dolly's a robot making its way through the Valley of Death. They are, I think they may have bounced against a rock here, so lost a little bit of momentum. That has gotten Giancarlo, who takes this corner nice and tight, just screaming right through here. Giancarlo has a real good chance of actually passing the Dolly up right now. It's got full momentum, but Dolly is not giving up without a fight. Shenanigans has, in the meantime, it looks like he has pulled back ahead of double digits. So Shenanigans back into 3rd place now. In the meantime, double digits is trying to catch up with them. Now Giancarlo actually comes ahead of Dolly as a robot, and Giancarlo takes the lead here. And this is the second time we've had a huge lead for a ship, and gets squandered right at the edge here as Rachel and Hoof-Hearted coming up around the side here in that battle for last place.
The Shenanigans still dealing with mines as the Dolly and Giancarlo pull way out ahead. This is going to be lap number 3. This is the final lap.
Yeah,
and
final lap
the Giancarlo has a very good chance of finishing this one off. They're rounding this last corner, and they're looking at a clean straightaway right here. A couple mines in the way, but I think they should be pretty easy to avoid here.
Yep.
Oh, there goes the mine.
That double digits got destroyed, so I guess they have to restart their lap, I think. But it looks like
they just hit a mine. I think if they just hit a
Giancarlo,
mine, that's fine.
Fiziella is actually going to cross the finish line. They will come in 1st place. Dolly's a robot. Oh, this is actually oh no, the Hoof-Hearted and the Rachel are, I think, a full lap behind. So Dolly and there's a robot is going to come up in 2nd place. Shenanigans looks like they will take 3rd, especially since double digits exploded. So Shenanigans will pull up 3rd, double digits most likely 4th, and then we've got the last 2 ships duking it out here. They've got another lap to go here between the Rachel and the Hoof-Hearted.
And that looks like it's gonna be that for the first 3 contenders. Rachel finishing its 2nd lap, I believe.
Yeah, Giancarlo actually still following the path.
Because why not, I guess?
Because I guess, I'm not sure that they knew that they won already.
I'm not sure if they won.
Well, I don't think they know if they won.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Somebody might have to tell them there. I think if you finish the race, you should probably move out of the way of the racers that are still going. Dolly is still going around as well. Rachel and Hoof-Hearted gonna be coming. They're trying to go for that 5th, 6th place.
Yeah, victory.
Oh, Rachel just takes a huge mine hit there. That's gonna allow Hoof-Hearted to get right on past it. Oh, maybe not.
Done. Fox calls done. And let's go ahead and see what the places were, what the official standing is. Our victory half laps is our trio.
Yep, so it should be Giancarlo 1st, Dolly 2nd, Shenanigans 3rd, double digits 4th. I believe probably Hoof-Hearted 5th and the Rachel 6th.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I'm not an official ref, but I believe that's how the standings should be going.
I am not sure. So people are saying, is Dolly cheating, or is that cut allowed?
The thing is, I don't know actually which cut they're referring to.
So those questions in chat, we are not the tournament organizers. We do not have control over the rules. That's something like those specifics are going to have to take up with the tournament organizers. I'd ask them. Right now, Fox says he'll watch the video. But right now, it looks like we do not have any official standings.
So yeah, bear with us, guys, as we're trying to figure out how to exactly go about doing squid races. Still, that was quite an exciting one. We had shenanigans actually with a large lead for a while. Got passed up by a whole bunch of ships, and in the end, it was Giancarlo who was, I think, been fourth for a long time. That was three different lead changes for 3 laps.
Yeah, that was very close. That was very intense at the very open. Now in the back, we had people struggling to try to get going, and I think that just shows how important getting out at the very beginning is. The Rachel
but it also
and started like clawing with I believe it was double digits.
Wholehearted, I think, because the Wholehearted, okay. Yeah. Wholehearted and the Rachel were just kind of constantly banging into each other. But it also goes to show you, if you do fall behind a fair amount, you can still come out and win, because the 4th place team in the first lap ended up winning the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Now, we do have another race coming up in just a moment. We're going to go to break as we set up the lobby. Guys, hang out. We got another squid race coming up for you in just a minute. Hang tight.